to Super Mardiman 64 World. How you doing? My name is Mardiman41 and welcome to another Mardiman Maker level showcase. Before we begin, I decided to show you guys my world, my very first world. So, as you all know, World Maker version 3.0 is basically all the devils and everything else, and I like to basically share off my world a little bit. It's not perfect, and next month I will show you World 2, because right now I'm just slowly building up this world as I create levels, and of course, each world will definitely be filled up with 5 levels, and I'm thinking I don't know what I'm going to be doing for the future. I might create up to just 40 levels. I don't even know if I'll feel like doing more, but you never know. Anywho, today, of course, we're going to be going through just the newest level, which, of course, is taking place on, of course, this level right here. This is the new level I want to show today, and I'm not going to reveal it yet, but I'm going to show you around really quickly. I think press home right here, right? Yeah, I do. Okay. So, as you all know, you start here, you work your way up. There is a mushroom house, like, right here. And, basically, you use this mushroom house to basically, of course, time this minigame. So I'm gonna push A here, now I gotta practice the timing. And I got a 1-up. Like that. You start off with 5 lives, and you could go for this minigame and get more lives while you're at it. But yeah, I'll give you a showcase of what this level is right now, just get this out of the way. And of course, the level ID is on your screen right now if you guys want to try this level out for yourself. And that being said, let's go ahead and play this level. This one is called Jinjo Village Recreation. We'll talk more about the details after we beat the level, but anyways, so far so good. This level is pretty interesting. We have, of course, the houses over here. And, yeah, as you can clearly see, I add a lot here. There's the Jam Jar Solo right here. And, there's the gray Jinjo house that got destroyed, of course. Right here for black Jinjo house. And then right here for red Jinjo house. But on top of there is a musical note, so let's go and climb up here and collect it. Like that. Up, and there is, of course, one of Grunty's goons. We're gonna have to take him out. Or just be dumb like that. Wow. Alright, 5 lives left, so just go ahead and be in complete focus mode, of course. Then that would be pretty sad. Anyways, you climb to the top, take out one more of these enemies, of course. And here, enter King Jingling's throne room. Go inside of here. There's King Jingling's throne room. It's all happy and jolly. There's King Jingling. We get the Jiggy. And let's go ahead and leave, shall we? As we leave, we have this dramatic cutscene of the entire, like, castle. This is Grunty's castle's cutscene. I decided to recreate that. I obviously put a lot of certain barriers so you aren't able to see a thing. There's a cannon right there. As we pass through here, we see all the sisters, Magelda, Grunty, and Labelda. And they activated the BOB. It's gonna fire. Oh no! It fired. What did it hit? It hit Jinjonator's house, and I died. It literally hit Jinjonator's throne room, just like in the original game. I had to recreate this cutscene, and I also put a lot of death barriers around to make sure that you can't cheese this. Obviously, you do gotta take him out, and this guy can be tricky, but I got him. Oh, and yeah, you have to battle him, by the way. So now we're leaving King Jingling's throne room, which is now more deserted than ever. That's so sad. Meanwhile, we'll just go ahead and explore the rest of Jinjo Village. Here, we're going on the side roof that is near, of course, Jinjo Village. And, well, as you can clearly see, I did not put any effort from the inside of the Jinjo village. Not much of anything. All I did was just colored the houses and, well, just get straight to the point. I could just put detail, but I don't know. I guess I was lazy. I have no idea. Now we go down here to where the yellow Jinjo house is. This is the yellow Jinjo house. And we get across, we have to fight some more of these enemies, of course. Like that. And then right here for white Jinjo house. This is the house where only one Jinjo is required. Obviously, we gotta get up here. It's really tight. I'm gonna try to get the life if I can. Got it. Got the extra life. And that is Jinjo Village Recreation. Or re-recreation. I'll explain why there's a re-recreation on this level when we talk more about it. But we'll talk more about that in a moment as we go ahead and analyze the rest of this world. And, but yeah, if you want to try out my world, of course, the link, well, not the link, but, I recommend what you would do is use the Maker ID. Right on the screen right now is my Maker ID. This is where you can try out my world. And, you start here, you play the first level, so one I just demonstrated, but, yeah, and the next level will be a few levels I have shown within the showcase, of course. So, you go across this bridge, you play this baseball minigame, and then you go ahead and play Angel Island Zone, Act 1, which is a level I did show off. Here's some stock footage of me trying it out. Once you do that, you go down here, and, you have a choice. You can go this way just to risk to get a lot of extra lives, but the problem is, I put a really difficult level down here, the level that only one person have actually beaten, even though it didn't get a lot of viewers in there. So if you guys can try beat this level, it'll be all very appreciated and everything in the bells. But once you do that, you do get this button mash minigame regarding the pump it up to get all the one-ups, of course. This is totally optional. You don't have to go this way, which is why I made this one of those challenging levels, if you like to call it that way. Go this way to where this bridge is. This will, of course, lead you to basically the final level of Banjo-Tooie, which, of course, is Grunty's Castle. I don't know the actual name. I think it's just Grunty's Castle. I could be wrong. But yeah. And the reason why I made it like this, because, like, I wanted to signify you basically, you know, in, like, the actual level, you start outside of Quagmire, and you have to climb all the way up to the top of that castle. I had to signify that like you were doing it in the world map, too. So you start here, and, when you finish the level, you also end up on top of there. And the final level is actually the Elevator of Death. It's a survival where you have to ride down an elevator and surviving a lot of traps and gizmos. But yeah, that's all fun and dandy. And that's basically what this world is. But now, that's out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about my level, shall we? Let's go to upload courses. As you clearly see here, only 3 people played it, 0% completion rate, but I can guarantee you right now it is indeed doable, so definitely take the time to give it a shot. Actually, let me go ahead and, let me exit for a moment, and I'm going to explain a few things in the title screen. So, first and foremost, why is it called Jinjo Village Recreation? Well, let's go ahead and read the description really quickly. This is a remake of Jinjo Village from Banjo-Tooie, and I recreated it from Super Mario Maker 1. So this is a level I actually did create in Super Mario Maker 1. It's called Jinjo Village Recreation. Alright, well anyways, that's taken care of. So now let's go ahead and go through this level from things. So we'll talk more about the differences. So, you know, in the original, I didn't put every single Jinjo house. I think I only inputted like 3 Jinjo houses from the original. I did include the Crumbling House too. But of course, that's not all of the houses. I only included a few. And I wanted to include some sort of cave-in area, but again, like Mario Maker 2, you cannot put something in the start box for some reason, but I digress. I made a jungle themed because I feel like it fits more of the ISO-HAGS feel, because everything around that area is completely green. Now, of course, the enemies I used, of course, was supposed to be like Goombas and, of course, the green Koopas. It's still that in the Mario. Well, this Koopa is still that, but I completely changed the Goombas to those green spikes, which looks exactly like those enemies from Banjo-Tooie. And obviously, I was going to go for them during my very first level, which of course is Grunty's Castle and everything else, during the ISO-HAG portion. But at the time, this was before the 2.0 update, so spikes were never invented yet. So I had to go with the Boom Booms instead. But now these things exist. They look a lot more like it, except they're not doing their actual purpose, but the look symbolize it. Then, of course, we head towards, of course, the how do we call it? Oh, yeah, the King Jingling's throne. Now, in the original, obviously, it was like a gigantic, like, it's just like one structured building. You can even see it from one screen. But it was already, like, destroyed already. It was already destroyed, and when you enter in there, there's, like, a dry bones, and it definitely feels so dreaded and everything else. And you also leave to the top, which is obviously something you do not do, but there was a hole on the top because a laser beam just zammed into that. As you clearly see, this is a split personality type of thing here, like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of thing. And not to mention, the one I used during, like, the previous version of Mario Maker had a lot of swamps inside instead of, like, very much of these stones. And also, I think, like, it was in, like, Mario Brothers Freeform, too. Oh, 3D form, I believe. I have no idea. Now, I put this light area down here because I have a lot of space here. And I just knew that you won't be able to see what's down here from up here, so that's why I put it down here. This is where I put, like, the good guy throne room. And I put Larry here. Now, I decided to use advantage of the Koopalings because, well, it's a new update. Might as well use advantage of them. And, I did. I personally prefer to use the Dry Bones and the regular Koopa, but I feel like it wouldn't be right to waste an update on day one or whatever without using the Koopalings, of course. Anyways, of course, you go down here, you climb the throne room, you get the Jiggy. Now, I had to go this way to make progress, like, past King Jingling, so technically, you already are killing King Jingling already. And I was trying to see if I can put, like, a spiky helmet on him to make him, like, wear a crown or something. But yeah, anyway, so, that being said, moving on to the next area. Now, as you can clearly see, I had to recreate, basically, my very first level, but in a small scale. As you can clearly see, remember, it's not 100% exact, but it's somewhat close. I did recreate, of course, the beginning part. It resembles a little bit like my first level, a little bit, with the tower going upwards and everything else. Now, obviously, I had to make it feel like it's a cutscene. So, I had this piece of track where the moment you get on, you'll be riding up, and you're forced to watch this. And at no point you're supposed to interact with the story. Of course, you go up to this point, where you go in. This is, of course, the blaster you can see from the outside. It looks pretty interesting. And I had to make sure that nothing interrupts the cutscene. If you just stand still, you'll be fine. And, to make sure that you guys don't attempt to break this cutscene, I put spikes and walls everywhere. So you're pretty much forced to watch this entire cutscene without, like, breaking the level. I had to make sure that you're not able to, like, ruin this cutscene. Prepare yet letting these enemies ruin the cutscene too. Anyways, you go up here. Obviously, I want to have a cutscene regarding the Koopalings. Right here is the B.O.B. machine with Suck and Blow. And then right here's Grunty. Right here is, I guess right here is Magelda, and this is Bubelda, the Fat Witch. And obviously I'm using advantage of the Koopalings, because, like, it's day 1 update, might as well use advantage of it. Then the next bit, it had to be one of my favorite projects. So in the original game, where once Grunty hit activates with BOB, it fires a gigantic laser. And as you all know, if it weren't for this guy, I would never have made that sequence happen. If it weren't for this guy. But in all seriousness, I had to make the track. I had to make sure that the track makes this Koopa fire to the right. So what I did is, of course, I directed the track to go this direction, and he will eventually turn right, and it will try to attempt to shoot a laser beam at me. And that is basically the sequence of the BOB firing at King Jingling's throne room. Isn't that a cool touch? Obviously, I made it instantly go to this door if it goes to the next scene, where we go up here. This is where, of course, this is, of course, a throne room, but completely different. Recreated from ground up a little bit. Sure, a few things different, but whatever. You leave, and King Jingling is right now more deadlier than ever. He's a zombie. Or rather, been replaced with a new Koopa Kid, of course. And obviously, as much as I want to, like, say, okay, completely ignore him, because you could do that in the original game, I decide, you know what, fight him. Go ahead and take this opportunity, because, like, I wouldn't leave some challenge without it. So you fight him, get the key, and then, of course, you go ahead and enter his pipe, which will, of course, lead us back outside. And as you leave, you can clearly see that this thing is completely destroyed. Gotta like this split personality type of thing, I'll say that. And then, of course, now, in my original level, you go straight down to basically these two houses over here. And obviously, that was not the entire of the Jinjo village. There's a side area that you could go up to see some Jinjos, which is what I decided to do. So I added that here so you can visit all the Jinjo houses. Now, the challenge was trying to get all the colors, because, like, in the correct order from where you see them. There's red, blue, and then there's purple. And as you can clearly see, I had to combine a little bit of red along with these, how do we call it? Bouncer springs. And also, I completely forgot to erase this, but whatever. And, that's basically a combination of me trying to get purple involved, because, like, well, otherwise, it would not look good if it's just red, blue, red. Makes no sense. And obviously, the insides were completely unchanged, were not really, tangled with. I could spend the effort on, like, creating all these rooms and have, like, maybe a placeholder, a Jinjo character, and I could, but, I guess we're just trying to speed things up, but you get the point. So, I had to make sure that you're just always just running through all these, because there's no way to get around it, so I figured, and I don't want to leave this detail out, and I ran out of doors, so that's why I went with pipes. I ran out of doors, which is why I switched to pipes. And I guess I could have just didn't really necessarily need to add it, but it wouldn't look like a house if it wasn't standing on something or nothingness, but I digress. A lot of mixed ideas was put into tuition. Then there's, like, the yellow house, and then the white house. Now, my nose is a little bit itching, but originally for this white house, it was all gonna be clouds, so you're supposed to, like, climb up the clouds, climb up the clouds, climb up the clouds, stay on the roof, and then you gotta just get up here, because the post was right here, instead of down here. But I decided against that, because, like, it would make no sense. So instead, I just lowered that, and you have to, of course, do a high jump to get up here. Which, of course, is something you would technically do in the original game anyways. I'm gonna try to get this video out as soon as possible, because, I have to get a video out right now, or this week. So, I really hope you guys enjoyed this level, and I really hope that you guys like it. Again, if you want to try this level out, right here on your screen is the level ID, and if you want to try out my World 1, right here on the screen is my Maker ID. You you try out World 1 now, and give it a shot. And yes, there will be more worlds in the future. Next month, I will try to get World 2 all set and ready to go. But as for like World 3 and beyond, there might be a humongous gap between these segments. But until then, Mardiman signing out. Have yourself a fantastic night, and I'll see you legends in the next one, and stay safe. Catch you guys later. Bye.